people that John is bringing around and John himself. And I'm sorry, guys, that I'm probably rambling, and you guys are probably like, "Man, Paul, shut up."
No,
But
dude, you're
Keep
fine.
going. Keep going.
but it's just the way I am, guys, and I walked away, regardless of what the content was, as far as what was said and what wasn't said. It was just when you meet somebody for the first time and you can feel that connection. And yes, maybe I was swayed a little bit on the connection because I'm invested into this company. So maybe I went in with a pre-thought as far as, okay, I'm going to like this guy no matter what, even if he says something bad, or maybe he looks at me differently, or it's a weak ass handshake, or he's not looking me straight in the eyes, and he's not intuitive, and he's not talking to other people. Like, that's it. So maybe I was a little bit swayed, but I walked away from that saying to myself, no, that's not it. All I did was I said, okay, of all the people in my business life that I've dealt with, is he someone who I can trust? Is he someone who I can believe in as far as what is on this roadmap? And I can 110% tell you guys, 110% tell you guys. Oh my gosh, my admin is like looking at me through my window. I'm probably talking too loud. Is I'm 110% in this, even more so after meeting him and Josh. And then on top of that, there was just randomly in that audience, there was a woman, and Broad Arrow and I were like talking, and she overheard our conversation as far as Safemoon goes. And she's like, "Hey, you need to get in Reddit." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh," I'm sorry, Discord. And I'm like, Discord. I'm like, I can't even keep up with the different lines in Discord because it goes so fast, and it's just like I'm not in Discord that much, just because there's just a lot of. I don't know if you guys have been on Discord, but I can barely even read. Like, someone makes a
Man, it
comment
can
and then
be
five
very
lines above.
confusing.
And she's like, "Well, I'm a mod in there." And I'm like, "Oh, you're a mod in there?" And she goes by the handle Zooming, I think, Zooming. And she just talked about how much she enjoys what she does being a mod. And she also lives outside of Austin, Texas. And immediately when she said that she lives outside of Austin, Texas, I then, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my, like, Safemoon is literally like the mods are all over the place. Like, there is like, I don't know what the specific amount of mods are, and I don't want to guess, but if she's in Texas, I know that there's mods all over the world, but she's outside Austin, Texas. It just tells me that from a backbone perspective, as far as whether it comes from customer service or when it comes to handling us as members, that there are people all over the world that are helping us. And what she said was that she works up until like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, gosh, why are you doing this? You're in the central time zone. Why are you putting yourself through this? And she's like, because it's the time zones. Because and I'm like, oh my God, you're totally, I completely forgot about that, because I just think everything's in, whether it's Eastern, Central, Mountain, or Pacific. I forget about the entire world in different time zones. But here she is putting hours in, and she was totally excited about what she does. And what she talks about is she does a lot of filtering. So what she says is that she gets hammered with all sorts of requests with all these different crypto coins that are coming in requesting time for John, or requesting time, during the process as far as submitting their applications in. She's like, Paul, you would not understand the amount of requests that we get in. And I'm like, well, how do you do this? And she's like, I got to filter it down. Like, she's like the first layer of filtering as far as whether or not the coins are for real or not. And she starts filtering down, asking the right questions. And I didn't ask her what specific questions. I just generally let her talk, because I didn't want to be that person that asked, like it was an interview. But the takeaway for me on that was that these mods, not only do they deal with a lot with us, but there's also these other messages that they have to deal with, filtering out all these other cryptos that are trying to get in and trying to filter the bad from the good. And that's me assuming bad from the good. But it was, again, another person on the Safemoon team that, again, to me, from an organizational perspective, I really like to see. Because this isn't a group. of people that is a team of 10, 15 people that are completely isolated from each other. Like they truly are one. And that sign, and I don't get that sign that he held up, but she was the one that made that sign. And John spent the time with her. Again, this is me just noticing stuff, right? And Broad Arrow can back me up on this too. And he probably has other insight if he comes up. But he took the time to talk with her. And she made that sign. And that sign, it probably took her a while to make that sign. And it was probably awkward for her to bring that. But he spent the time to go and talk with her. And they talked for like 15, 20 minutes. And I don't know, guys. I mean,
I feel like what the team is looking like now is that John understood that he needed people on his team that were leaders, and because I feel like he's probably the type of person that understands, like, a good leader inspires leadership amongst his quote unquote followers. You don't want followers, you want leaders walking with you. And so even just, him taking the time to talk to you, it's you kind of walk away from that conversation, it seems like, more or feeling empowered and having a little bit more confidence in just your own leadership skills, just by having those interactions with those individuals. But Soldier has his hand up. I just want to see if Soldier had something to say, or if your hand was accidentally just up.
Yeah, I was just going to come in after Paul. I'll let Paul finish up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, and I'll just finish up with this. And again, I'm sorry, guys, and for everyone that's listening here.
No need for apologies.
I'm babbling here, but it was just super important to meet the person that is the leader of Safemoon. And again, I just walked away even with more confidence as far as what our road is and the person that's leading it. And you're so right as far as the people, at least the people who I met. And I'm sure that, again, there's other people within the team, but it just happened to be like every single person I talked to, they were super engaged with Safemoon as far as the team goes. And Josh, I took away a ton. And if you guys aren't following Josh, and he said he's not active on Twitter, I took away meeting him as well, is that he is a superstar. The guy, when it comes to logistics and when it comes to organization and when it comes to managing different teams, and again, the military kind of background or the service component of this is, and again, the people who I hire are people with different backgrounds, with military, with people, and I'm not just picking on the military, meaning like there's no other profession out there, but there just seems to be something that with the service members
highly
that are
structured training that's very focused on results.
Yes. Yeah, man. And yeah, man. I mean, so that's what I had to say, and I'm gonna do my best to spread the word. But John's for real, guys, and maybe the people that have surrounded him in the past. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to comment on what he's been surrounded with in the past, but I think that the people that he's around right now are the best people.
Right on, man. Thanks, Paul. Feel free to stay up as a speaker too if you want.
Yeah, actually, I have a few questions for you, Paul, if you have the time. I don't know if you're busy at work.
Yeah, Brett, go ahead, man. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So first of all, I love hearing what you've got to say. I think it'd be a pleasure to meet him also. I'd say a few months ago, I'd be more starstruck, but now I'd be more analytical in a lot of ways that you were just mentioning. Yeah, I know you're a very professional man. You've worked in, quite a few different businesses and things like that, and hold, quite the positions. So I love
I'm
hearing.
48 years old, man. I've put some time in.
Yeah.
I've put some
So
time in.
love hearing your aspect of it and your opinion of it. Obviously, a lot of my tweets lately have been concerning, have been critical. And yeah, I could go about it in other ways, like people say. But you know, even with everything you just said, and I agree also. I think he's really starting to put the team together. I think he's done, you know, since he started making the changes, I think he's done a great job. Do I still challenge who he may truly be just because we know he was part of all of this in the beginning? Yes, I do. Um, and that's where my questions come in is, you know, even though everybody blames the past on others that were a part of it, he was still in charge of it and aware of all of it. Um, and also, you know, some things he's said publicly that were blatant lies and things like that. Those are the things I've been speaking out about lately. And of course, all the treating us like children and playing games and the bullshit hype on social media. You know, I agree with everything you just said, and I see that he could be one of the next big guys in technology. You know, if we can get this done right. But even with everything you just said and everything you take away from meeting him, like you were saying in a way, whether you were starstruck or not, or kind of opinionated because you're invested in him, don't you feel like a lot of this shit just has to stop? Like the bullshit hype or the overhyping things, blaming things on other people. You know, we move at ludicrous speed. We're waiting on third parties. They're screwing it all up. Our part's done. But then all of a sudden it's the excuses of, oh, well, it's hard to do. And we get a captain's log of this and that. And, you know, those are the things that piss me off. Those are the things that make me speak out, is because just as all of us that have been here devoting our fucking lives to this thing, I feel like this can be something special. But I feel like there's also a lot that's just completely fucking it up and making us all look like complete jokes.
And if I can just
Okay, go.
jump in real quick. Like, so Soldier, you know, like it's a big community, like the Safemoon investors, right? So a lot of the things, and you've probably heard this before, but yeah, a lot of the stuff that's released, it's not for everybody, but it is for some of us. It is for some people in the community, and you know, it may not satisfy your expectations or your needs, but that doesn't necessarily make it irrelevant or you know, I certainly don't think that they're talking. And yeah, no, sorry, keep going.
No, I agree. And I'm trying to look at it as not if me or you like it or appreciate it, have fun with it. It's the outside looking in. The people that we're hoping will start pouring big money into this. Do you think they see all this shit and they're like, hell yeah, let's go dump $1 million or $1 billion in this thing. Let's get a group of investors together and I'll drop some millions. No, they're like, man, what the fuck is going on there? What are these people doing? Is this shit a game? That's what I address, and that's what I speak out about.
All right. So Brett, okay. And you guys, I didn't get up here. I'll just give you my thoughts on here real quick. So, those people that you're talking about, Brett, as far as the people that want to bring in big time money, or maybe those institutions that are looking at different investments that are out there, they're not on Twitter. They're at these network events. They're at these events that people are talking to. I mean, Brett, I'm telling you, there were more influential people at this South by South. I counted 3 or 4 people, 2 of which I've done business with that are based in New York City. And they were there. And I know that they're not on Twitter. They could care less as far as what's on Twitter. Yeah, okay, from a PR perspective, Twitter, okay, if you look at Twitter, as far as the active people that are actually using Twitter right now versus the entire, if you just use like Safemoon as a community, maybe it's 15 at most % that are active people that are on Twitter, and of the people that are actually using it, maybe it's like 6 or 7% that have active voices. So to me, what you're asking, and the frustration that you have, Brett, is you've been in this for a long time. And in one of my tweets to you, dude, I've listened to you for a long time. And the thing for me is that we have to move forward. And I know it's such a cliche thing to say, is that maybe there's lessons learned for everybody, but in order to innovate, in order to create, yes, the mistakes have to happen. Nothing is going to be perfect. And yes, I understand that you get frustrated with the teases out there, or things that, big, words such as imminent being used. I understand where you and a lot of people get frustrated, and lessons are learned. But for me, Brett, and I'm not one to get starstruck. And let me correct you. I do not get starstruck fucking at all. I don't get starstruck at all. But meeting that man and seeing his fucking eyes and seeing that determination and confidence, he's not seeking fame. He's not seeking clout. This is a guy that is so determined to make this thing fucking work. I've seen this in other major leaders. And you have to move forward, and you have to believe in this guy or not. That's it. I mean, that's the question. Either you believe or not. And for other people, such as Ace or other coins or other people that have been able to have a discussion with John, get it from them as well. And if all of us are coming telling you, hey, this guy is the real deal, and you haven't met him yet, you haven't met the guy yet, all you're doing is you're basing a lot of this stuff on stuff that's been said or mistakes that have been made in the past. Meet the man, or talk to the people directly that have met this guy, and allow this to work. He is not a clout chaser. This is a guy that is a calculating, smart man, and he's a leader.
Well,
and that's what I'm looking for.
And like I said, I agree with everything you're saying. And I don't want to say I don't look at him like that anymore. I mean, I used to just be in like awe about it, like all of us. Like, this guy's really going to change the fucking world and going to make such a bright future for all of us and our families. And we're going to be able to do that also. I used to have that full driven mindset, and I've just lost it over these last couple months of bullshit. And people are like, oh, it's the market down, or oh, somebody's paying them. I don't even bother commenting on most of that shit. It's ridiculous.
All right,
it's not that. It's what I want to see here. What I want to see here, even though, like, I get it from a business standpoint. You've got to promote. You've got to do what it takes to get some volume in during low volume times. Maybe overhype some shit to do it, whatever. But what I want to see here on Twitter, because what's making Safemoon known is the Safemoon army. And is what John and the others, Scott Paul and others, getting their name out there. And John gives us credit in everything he does. And, I'll sit here and say that. Everywhere he goes, every compliment he gets, he credits the Safemoon army.
Absolutely.
And
Soldier, just one second.
I want to see those things that you're saying here, because not all of us have the chance to meet him. Not all of us have that opportunity. I want to see that professionalism and that drive here.
Soldier,
I want to stop seeing these little fucking games being played, and I want to see that determination.
Can you hear us, Soldier?
On Twitter with us.
Soldier.
Can you hear?
Soldier.
Let Holly.
Holly's got her hand up.
Go ahead, Holly. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So, Soldier, one thing that you said that kind of resonated to me was that we put our entire lives into this. No, we don't. Maybe you do. And maybe that's something that you need to assess yourself. Because the problem is you're putting these expectations onto a company that you don't need to devote. You're just a holder, just like the rest of every single person in this room. So I think your expectations that you set for yourself were way too high on this project.
I
maybe
can't
that
argue
means
that. I think a lot of us set those expectations.
no.
And
I mean,
it's
you can only speak for yourself, and I'm only speaking for myself. I've been in Safemoon for a very long time. I have been on Twitter for a very long time, and I can tell you that I don't devote my life to Safemoon. I am just a holder, and I have the expectations. Being a businesswoman, whether anybody wants to believe that or not, I understand how long it takes for any company, any project to actually grow. And the fact that I'm here to watch it grow and watch everything happen and unfold as it is, I'm excited. And if you can't be that, that's fine. Nobody's telling you any different, soldier. I promise you, I really like you. I got to meet you in person. And you can ask anybody who asked me about meeting you. I said, he is actually very different in person than he is on Twitter. He's chill. He's a cool guy. But this soldier that I'm seeing is not you, soldier. And that's what's really disappointing to me.
That's the thing. Like you say, like I agree with everything you said, but you're also kind of like making a determination on who I am or what choices I've made or whatever. Like, okay, maybe by saying pouring our whole lives into this, that was taken out of context, or it was said that way. What I mean by that is we all spend a lot of fucking time on this. We're all here on Twitter all fucking day for the same fucking reasons. None of us are different. It's because we want success in this and we're devoting ourselves to this. We enjoy it. We enjoy being with each other. We enjoy going through this with each other. We enjoy developing those relationships. That's what I mean by devoting our lives to it. Not each and every minute of my life and I forget about who my fucking family is. Yeah. That's not what I meant. So the thing is like I've been saying a million fucking times, and yes, some of the shit I say does start to get worse and worse because it just doesn't get across to people. Like, I just want the bullshit to end, and I want to see what Paul's talking about. And you know what I mean? I want it. That's what I want to see, and that's all I've been saying the whole time is stop the fucking week-long crossword puzzles that lead to a coloring book.
Soldier.
Stop the overhype and bullshit and just speak for what it is. And fucking stand on that and be proud of that. Don't over
soldier, just step back for a little bit.
But here's the thing is you do realize that they do that to keep the community engaged, right? For people to continue to have some faith, to have a little fun with the community, because most people don't do this. And by you saying, oh, this is bullshit and they're treating us like children, do you realize that you're indirectly calling every single person that enjoys that children, including myself? That's a slap in the face, soldier, because you are saying that towards the people who actually enjoy it, who actually can see that this is just a way for John and the team to communicate with the community and keep them engaged.
I get that, and I understand that. If you've taken anything personal, I'm sorry. And I do see how yes, the way I say it, it's saying that to everybody. I guess it's just in a way, I don't want this to come out wrong. Like, it's not like I want everyone to think like me. It's just in the way from the things I'm saying and the way I see it is not only my personal opinion. It's my family and friends that are coming at me saying, man, what's this thing you got us into? This is stupid. They're playing a bunch of fucking games. This is a huge business already. You know, other investors that I talk to.
Is it really
I'm trying to explain what I see from the outside also, that people that I go to and talk to about Safemoon or already got invested in Safemoon. And I go to other dads at my son's baseball games that I know are into Bitcoin and things like that. And they ask me questions. Man, I've heard this Safemoon thing. It's all bad. I see the tattoo. You know, you're wearing the t-shirt. You're wearing the sweaters. Talk to me about it. Tell me what it is. And they like the sounds of it. They like the mission behind it. They don't like the 10% tax. And they don't like everything that's in the news about it. And we can change that. And we can get the team to change that by changing the way we go about doing shit on social media.
Okay, so soldier, let me just
saying.
I get what you're saying. However, you said that we have the ability to change it as a community. So there's a different way to go about your concerns. It's not to tweet out to the world. It's not to hashtag, because from the outside looking in, they're seeing your hashtag and seeing the things that you're saying.
How long have I been saying all of these things before it's got to this point to where I've just gotten outrageous with it, if that's what people want to say?
Well, that's where maybe like
I've been speaking about it for months.
I know, and it might be just healthier to take a step back.
Yes. That sometimes that's what you need to do.
Okay, all right, everyone. We've got hands up.
And still, what's catching people's attention is that maybe you need to take a break. When I'm trying to explain to you guys, everybody I talk to, and I talk to a lot of people, between all of my son's athletics and being a mailman, I talk to a lot of fucking people, and I talk to a lot of fucking people about this.
Well, and so do I, Soldier. So you're not the only one.
To come in is 0. The outlook on it is a 0 out of 10, and the money willing to come in is a 0 out of 10. That's what I'm trying to get to people.
Well, then maybe it's a matter of telling them maybe it's a matter of telling them to research.
You need mental health, blah, blah, because I'm trying to fucking help and change the way things are being done. Who are you trying to
help, Soldier? Who are you trying to help?
All of us.
I don't need help. I don't need help.
And again, now it's to worry about yourself. But we're all here every day together for what? Not to be by our fucking self and only do it for ourselves. And again, still, it's not coming across that I talk to multiple wealthy people that are into crypto and have zero interest. And that still doesn't
we're not doing the same. Okay,
and still keeps going back to me personally when I'm trying to talk about a business. And it still keeps coming back to me personally.
And Soldier, it's your approach. That's all I can tell you is it's your approach. And on top of that, name calling and calling out the enhanced team like you are, that's not a good look either. I don't care who brought the smoke. That's just bad.
If you've seen all the tweets, I reached out to both of them to get Hypnic to stop for no. I've never said a word to either of them. I reached out to Hypnic, said, hey man, chill out. I've never said a word to you. I reached out to Ace, said, hey man, get your boy Hypnic. I have no reason to come at y'all. I love what you do. If you read the DM that I tweeted out, I told her I love what y'all do. Just there's no reason for us to go at it. Ace pretty much said, oh, that's the last thing you want is to go at it with us. And Hypnic continued commenting. Yeah, it's all childish. That's what this social media shit is. It's childish. And that's what I'm trying to stop.
Defending his work.
Okay, yeah, we got some other hands up.
Let's just pause. Yeah, okay. We have, let's go Pro Spice, then Sam, Kitty, I want you third because I know you'll talk for a little bit. I think
my hand is up by accident, so I think Namu Master.
Yeah. Okay. Next. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yo, Brett. So based off what I'm hearing, what you're saying, if anything, it's more about the people around you are frustrated about the price and less so what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, if you look at it, hold on, let me finish what I'm saying, and then you can talk.
Yeah, Soldier, let him talk.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
As soon as I'm done, you can reply as long as you want, but just let me finish this real quick. So I know you don't like the crosswords and all that stuff, but if you go into the Discord and see how many people actually do like them, it's actually a significant amount. And what it sounds like to me overall is that you're more concerned about the price. If they were doing crosswords and the price was at $1 right now, I guarantee you would not care what crosswords are doing or anything like that. So, I mean, when it comes down to me, I understand your frustration because we've all been in this for a long time. But in the grand scheme of things, if you've been in crypto for a long time, we haven't been in this for like only a year. That's nothing. Look at Bitcoin. It took 8-10 years before it actually even did anything. And I can tell you the original Bitcoin holders were completely frustrated by the time it actually exploded. And I mean, that's just one of those things where it's a waiting game and it's an investment. I'm not saying, you should put your life into any full investment. Don't get me wrong. I pretty much put my full life into this one. But, it's one of those things that I'm patient. I expect it to take a while. When you have a child and you want your child to be an engineer, you don't just come out and say, hey, be an engineer. It's one of those things that's going to take a while. It's got to build, and you're going to have to nourish it and watch it grow. And even if they do, crosswords or things that bore you, think are stupid, it piss you off. I mean, just ignore that stuff. Like you said, everything that goes on social media, you may deem it childish, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But then I just recommend staying away from that side of it. But I mean, there are people who like it, and I let them like it. And I mean, you can have your outlook on it, which there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to only see the professional side, I would probably stay away from Twitter and more look at their LinkedIn and stuff like that.
I hear you, and I can't argue any of that. And I agree. If you don't like it, stay away. Don't be a part of it. And again, that does kind of get to the more the personal aspect, like Holly was mentioning. It's I choose to be. I enjoy being here. It's something we've been a part of that was fun for a long time. And obviously that's me. That's just not having fun, and I mean a few others. And it keeps coming out selfish, saying it sounds like I say I want to change it for me, so only I enjoy it, and that's not what it is. And to comment, about the price, my actions have nothing to do with the price. All markets are down, stocks are down, all cryptos are down. That has nothing to do with it, and it has nothing to do with the men I speak to's opinion, because all of their stocks and cryptos are down. Well, I mean, they got in Bitcoin early, so their Bitcoin's not down, but you know what I'm saying. But I get what everyone's saying. Just step away if it ain't for you. And then again, that's where it goes back. That's where it does get personal. I enjoy this. I enjoy hanging out with y'all. I enjoy the friendships I've made. I enjoy what we're going here through and growing together and learning together and creating a history together, possibly, and run into each other down the road or hop in spaces in a couple years when it's not a common everyday all day thing and say what's up to each other. Yeah, that's what I do enjoy. That's where it does get
For
personal.
sure, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Soldier, you're kind of going in the blockchain.
No, he's okay. He's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he sounds
But,
fine.
but if
Hey,
anyone,
Soldier.
if anyone
I
doesn't want to
don't want to
speak,
go in circles about it. I know a lot of people are upset with me, but I'm just a very outspoken person. I'm a very
I wanted to say something. Let's try to kind of isolate what your issues seem to be really isolated around, like the Twitter space and how the company interacts on there with the puzzles, etc. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I also don't want to, let's not get caught up in like attacking you personally or anything like that, or cover areas that you're not talking about. I think Paul pretty much debunked everything you had going on for as far as John goes. So going forward, anybody that has questions, maybe let's try to keep it in the between the buoys.
Hey, and if there's anybody that's not speaking, if you want to step down, because we have a lot of requests, and so sorry, Pro Spice.
Hey, Brett. I was just going to add. I don't think the way you're feeling is misplaced. So you went through an experience, and you're not new to crypto. If you ever came to this space and had to share something, we're all ears. This is one of the very few spaces where if anybody needs to vent, this is it. And I would tell you that if you were to come in here in the future and have an issue to share, this would be the best forum for it. Get it out of your chest. Ask others, hey, this is what I'm seeing. What am I hearing? What do you guys think? But I also agree with some of the other people that have spoken already that sometimes social media isn't always the best outlet to express your opinion when this army and even those that like the partners that are in the swap like those projects. What I would say to you, Brett, is I love your tenacity. You're very candid. You shoot from the hip. You don't sugarcoat. And what I tell you, Brett, is don't stop being you. What I only would recommend you do, just as a suggestion, is find that outlet that you think will work to your benefit. And I know I heard you. I believe you when you said, hey, I didn't talk to that guy and he's messaging me. I totally agree with you, Brett. So what I would say is that it's very difficult. And I don't want to see you lose respect or lose show of face when you're just being honest. I would only say is if you really want to vent, come in here. This is the space to do it. Because we get people from all different backgrounds, all different opinions that want to talk about what's important to them. And again, I don't think the way you're feeling is misplaced. Although I might disagree with you about your outlook, we all have our own different opinion when it comes to outlook. And while I agree with Paul and I agree with Holly, I think Holly just dropped. I would say that we all have what we think is our own compass, our own barometer for measuring success. And for some people, patience is a little more long term compared to other people. I'm not saying you're not a patient person, but what I would say, Bet, is I don't think you're in an island by yourself. But I would just tell you, hey, come here, vet it out, let it out, just to make sure you're bearing straight. That's the only suggestion I would have for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
This room will give
And
you a little
one last thing I'm going to add
a
real
little
quick.
backing to what you're taking, as in like not disagreement, but they'll make you think on what you're thinking. They'll challenge your approach a little bit, especially realists.
I think next we had Malta, Poppy, Crypto Travis. I'm trying to bring you up, but it's not letting me.
Yeah, I'm not able to bring him up either. I'm trying as well.
Hey, Prospect. Hey, guys. I got a jet here for another meeting here, but thanks for having me up. Okay, guys. And
Paul, thanks for coming in. Stop by
Yes, sir.
anytime.
Later, Paul. Good to see you.
Yeah. Thanks, NDA and Brett. Yeah, what Sam said is 100% right, man. What he said was absolutely right. So hang in there, Brett. Okay, hang in there.
Hey, I appreciate it, Paul. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the conversation and the good and the kind words, man. Thank you.
Right on. We had, I don't know who was next, but we just got Crypto Travis up here. Malta Poppy, good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Hey guys, thanks for having me up. Soldier, I just want to say I agree 100% with Sam just said. I've seen you. I've been here since the beginning. You were a pillar of positivity in the beginning when we were, hype and everything was new, and pretty much after and I'm not trying to attack you or talk down because I respect you and I like you as a person and everything, but after Safe Earn, like I just felt like I could see your frustration come out more and more on Twitter, your concerns and so forth. And I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know if you got burned or whatever the case may be, but I think really what it boils down to is, like Sam said, finding an outlet to vent. And if it's this space, then great. Like, whatever helps you, right? But you can control what you put out on Twitter. Not everybody comes to this space to hear everybody's opinion, but what you have 6,000 plus followers. When you tweet something, that makes an impact to the community. It gets people's attention, and sometimes it gets negative attention. I think that's kind of what everybody's trying to say is just use a different Twitter account to vent your frustration, or a different outlet. But I think really what it comes down to is finding an outlet and patience, right? Like, I mean, we all want this to go to the moon. We all want to see $1 plus and all of these great things. But at the end of the day, what keeps me grounded, being here since March 23rd, is just developing patience. I did not have patience when I came into this space, but Safemoon has definitely taught me patience because I believe in the vision and I believe where the team's going. And I realize that it's going to take a long time to get there. I don't even think you're going to see, 50 cents the end of this year. I think for us, it's going to be the following year. And that's my expectation. And that's kind of what helps keeps me grounded and set my expectations to where I feel that they're more reasonable. And it may be different for everybody else, but for me, my expectations and what keeps me grounded is just pushing that a little bit further out and just let the team do what they need to do until I see some huge red flags. And for me personally, I don't see any red flags. Would I like things to move faster? Absolutely. But it is what it is, where it's an emerging area. There's people that have been doing this for years that still haven't released a product. I think that we'll get there. Just have some patience, soldier.
Hey, I hear you and I appreciate it. And I'm not just like trying to negate or rebuttal what you're saying. I think I'm just still trying to get across where I'm coming from. And I don't want to come off like an ass. I appreciate everybody that's coming up to talk to me. And that's what we're here for. And that's why we all enjoy being here, like I was talking about earlier. But everyone that's come up and spoke to me has mentioned a big part of what they have to say about the price and me being patient. And I'm still trying to get across that that's not the issue. That is not my frustrations. I know markets are down. That has nothing to do with what I speak out about. What I speak out about is the unprofessionalism and childish actions. And I've gotten everybody's, opinions on that. And I do feel a lot of the same way. But again, I'm still just trying to get it out, that I'm trying to explain to people from the outside looking in, not how we all feel, not about what we know what's coming, or at least what we believe is coming. It's from the out. What I'm trying to get across is the opinions and the visions I get from the outside of people that I talk to, that see the reports and the lawsuit thing, you know, and see all the negative content about it's a scam and all these YouTube videos. And it's not one of the things in the market people are interested in right now. And again, and I'm talking about, you know, people that I deliver to, other dads on the baseball and football and basketball teams that are Bitcoiners. Those are the things I try to get across that they see that they don't like. So those are things we can all work on and relate to the team and say, hey, look, you know, obviously we're not just going to immediately change the market or change the outlook on the company or on the project, but we've got to start at some point working on changing that. And yes, I might not let it out in all the best ways, and my frustrations might come out to be a little emotional, whatever it may be, because I've been saying it for months and months and months, and now it's finally got to the point where I just started saying everything I wanted to fucking say, and saying that things that I'm being told, that I'm hearing from other people from the outside that I talk to about this. And that's what people aren't understanding. I understand I can go about this a different way and not lose 400 followers and keep it positive. And I'm a very positive person in life. And like you guys said, you know, from the beginning, I became, you know, a pillar in the community, almost at one point, like the face of the community. And I'm not trying for that to come out wrong. I understand why people have concerns, and I appreciate that, because we've all been here together. We're all friends. And I was somebody that had a very large voice in this community. And now all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what the fuck? You know, and now he's killing us. It's not that. I'm just trying to help make a change, even though I might be going about it the wrong way. And people are like, oh, what do you mean trying to help make a change? You're the one making it the worst out here right now. And I get that. It's just, it doesn't come across to people until it becomes something. And that's like anything in life, in your family, with your friends, at work. Like nothing gets done until it hits the ultimate worst, because people don't see the change when it needs to be seen and when it needs to be made.
Hey, Evan, if you don't mind waiting, I want Travis to respond and then have Evan come up.
Just to finish that up, if everything's all hopium and all bullshit all the time, that change doesn't get made.
Hey, Soldier, I completely understand what you're saying about looking from the outside perspective. And I get that it's frustrating, right? Like we all want to be able to talk to somebody and, you know, have them agree with us and say, like, you know what, I see the value in this project. Like this is a good investment. I want to put my money here. But the reality is it's not going to be for everybody. And I know you get this too, but it's just that your circle that, you know, you deal with in your town, in your city, everybody is like, I don't see the value in this. This looks childish. And it's like, it makes you question your investment.
But it's
right?
a very large circle, you know, with all the people I deliver to. I'm in different cities all the time. I'm on different routes all the time. But I still see these people constantly. We get to know each other, you know, whether it be at a residence or a business.
Let Travis keep going.
It's a very broad spectrum of people in the towns I deliver in the towns my son goes to school in the cities we travel to in his games. And I'm sitting there with coach and meeting other kids' dads. They all know each other. It's a very broad spectrum of Central Florida, not just my little hometown. I'm a very talkative person. I talk to a lot of people.
For sure. Can we just go to Evan real quick here? Well, don't. I'm not trying to rush you, Evan. Evan, you got your hand up though, bro.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man. Thanks for coming up.
Hey, I've been sitting I've been here since April or so, and I used to be in spaces quite a bit, but I've kind of taken a step back from being in spaces and just kind of sat in the corner. But
is anyone speaking?
Yeah. Can you guys hear Evan? I can hear him.
No, I can't hear him.
Yep, he's good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I don't hear anything. It doesn't even. It says he's listening.
No, I can hear Evan.
Yeah, I can hear him.
If anyone can hear, they need to probably go down and come back up.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I mean, I've been in here since the April. Been kind of just sitting in the shadows for a couple months. Been haven't really been around. Just kind of staying around, just and not being super into spaces and everything else. Definitely since the drama with other spaces and everything else. But what I've seen with other cryptos and especially Safemoon, the reason why I think that they are doing these type of activities with the community, like Holly said, is to keep people engaged. Because in my opinion, I've seen a lot of cryptos that have fallen off just because they aren't getting the engagement from communities like they used to. And I think that is basically one of the biggest reasons why they do this, is because while they're building, I know it's taken a long time, and I know that past relationships with SafeMoon employees and everything else, that everybody was expecting blockchain and everything else by the end of last year and all that other stuff. But I think that everybody needed to put a realistic timestamp when Thomas and Hank and everybody left. I think everybody needed to start their calendar at zero at that point and realize that there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes that wasn't getting done. And I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see anything realistically until maybe Q3. So I have more of a long-term aspect. I'm in other plays to hopefully keep my mindset off Safemoon. Safemoon is my biggest holding, and I've never sold anything. And I will say, Brett, I remember a couple weeks ago where I saw when the whole Russian-Ukraine incident happened, still obviously going on, but when you were talking about Bitcoin going down and then the whole market going down with it, you were basically trying to see if you could capitalize on the part of it going down. That's a good play. It's just when you have the 10% out and then the 10%
Yeah,
and that's a
I took a bit of
that's
it.
that's a huge. I mean, I've done it before in investments and stocks and stuff, but of course we don't have those type of fees and everything else. But that's a big game to play for sure, and that can get very emotional. I mean, it can be a very emotional problem when you're trying to sit there at that point and you sell, and then, well, not all of it obviously, but sell and then try to back in more shares or more tokens or whatever you want to call it, and it just doesn't go your way. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. It's just the way the game goes. But
it was I figured for sure, even though when I woke up there was already a 20 or 25% drop, I just thought it was going to go lower, and I thought it was going to be drastic. So I just that was a bad timing thing on my part. And then of course it went the complete opposite direction with all of a sudden Bitcoin supporting the Ukraine and everybody transacting in it and donating in it. So I think if something good can come out of something terrible, it's that it gave the world and the governments a chance to really see how it can work and how it can benefit them.
For sure, man.
So that did go the opposite direction on me. But that's not part of my frustrations either. That's a financial decision I made, and it has nothing to do with the project itself. And I know it does look like that. Of course, everybody says, "Oh, now you sold and you lost some of your position. You're trying to tank the price." Like, dude, if my voice can tank the price, there's a lot more things wrong with this fucking project than me. You know what I mean?
100%, man.
You know what I mean?
But it doesn't mean you couldn't still try.
Right. Yeah, I guess, but believe me, that's not my intent at all.
Hold on, soldier, and thanks, Evan, and feel free to stay up as a speaker. I just want to get to some of these folks with hands up. Travis, if you want to respond, and then I want to go to Malta Poppy, R2, and then Drew to you.
Hey, soldier. Address kind of the your real issue about the amount of people that you talk to. I know you're a mailman. I know you talk to thousands of people probably over the course of this. I mean, your Twitter space is everything, right? Like, I completely get that. And crypto may not see the value right now. These Bitcoin and these investors may not see the value now. People want to see products, right? But like, once things start to come to fruition, that may be the better time to re-engage with these people and try to resell them on this, right? Like this needs to grow organically. We don't want, people that are going to come in here and they're going to have these crazy expectations that things are going to be roses and unicorns and rainbows and everything's going to be fantastic. And in 6 months, we're all going to be millionaires, right? Like you want people that are going to come in, invest their money, see the value, and continue to put their money in there, right? That's what I'm saying is like zoom out a little bit and realize that you talk to thousands of people. Let's say it's 20,000 people, right? But we have millions of people that we're talking about. And if you think worldwide, we have billions of people that, that have the opportunity to invest. So when I say like zoom out and see the bigger picture, that's what I'm talking about. It's just right now may not be the time for them to see the value, but maybe a year from now will be the time for them to see the value. And those conversations may be different a year from now than they are today.
Right. Yeah, I agree, man. It's,
Thanks, Travis.
yeah.
Hey, Soldier, can we go to Malta Poppy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guy? What's up, bro? I just wanted to say, man, I agree with you wholeheartedly on almost everything you were going on, Melissa. I feel like hopium within this community is way too strong because even something Evan mentioned here, when that would happen with the team and we restructured and reset it to zero, we essentially lost what 8 months of our life cycle here. That's nuts for a community that's only been a year old. So, and then who was leading the pack in that sense? And like, I'm not gonna go and attack John. I feel like he's restructured. He's taken lead. He's trying to change trajectory, and that's part of the reason why I'd stay. That's part of the reason why I imagine most of us are staying. But at the same time, it's got to be okay to hold the team accountable. We already saw the first part of the team do something shady. We're not even sure what happened, but trying to hold the people accountable is not a bad thing, and it never will be. And at the same time, and then the next thing I just want to get to, it's strange to me when people are trying to say how to tweet, how to speak, and how to feel. Like, there's a reason behind all these feelings. You know what I mean? It doesn't come out the air. It's not made up. It's not, oh, I just woke up upset, so now I'm gonna start fighting. That's not what happens. And I don't think like Brett mentioned, he's not mad at the price by any means. It's just how things go down, which is weird. Like I'm with them too on these games thing. Like we compare this company so much to Apple. You think they're creating riddles to shareholders and all that stuff? No, they're shareholder meetings and they hold the C-suite accountable. That's what happens in the real world in the high level sense. So always going about this like, oh, keep everything positive for what? Like when things go wrong, you have to speak on it, right? That's in every aspect of life. So that's kind of my piece on that. Forgot I wanted to add something else to this, but I don't know, that's my spiel. So shout out to you, bro. I have no problems with how you because I'm confident in my investment, and everyone in this room should say they're confident in this investment. So it doesn't matter what anyone says, right? No one's gonna convince me because I do my own research. No one's gonna convince me to sell because they're feeling upset. Oh, what I did want to bring up is, for example, the biggest space in our community is the after dark, right? But in that space, they were making price predictions that were out of this world, and 600 people at a time go in there. What do you think is better for the community, that hopium or like people saying, hey, hold the team accountable, be like, what's going on here, team? Or the other side where they're saying, oh, $3 by next week for sure, my sources is telling me. That's nuts.
Yeah, man, that aspect of it can get crazy too. And myself and Brian, I'm sure you know who Brian is, a guy he used to run the Crack of Dawn show, and he set up the whole Vegas thing. But him and I spoke out about that for God, it had to be about a month or two straight before everybody else finally started saying, hey, these price predictions got to stop and stuff. And I hate knocking other spaces. I everybody's has good intentions with it, and the same intentions we do of being here every day, but some of them are just outrageous.
Way
And
too
that's one
much.
thing,
Yeah, for
me
sure,
and Brian
man.
speak out
We're
about
gonna
Not
so
even
much.
Finally,
we're
two
talking about
people
the
that
biggest
agree with
one.
me. Thank you, Malta.
we're,
Thank
Well,
you,
and
Soldier.
that's another thing. Like it just overhypes people so much, and then people get to believing this shit that it's gonna be $1 and it's gonna be
Exactly.
$5 this year, and you're
And that's
gonna
called
triple your
positivity.
bag, and if you hold $1 million, you're gonna hold 3 million by the end of this in the next 60 days because of the reflections. And it's like, what the fuck are you telling people? What
And
is this?
that's positivity. That's not realistic.
All right, guys, we've got other hands, but like I said, two people that agree with me, Malta and Soldier. I'm following you, Malta, now. I like everything you said. I agree with everything Soldier says, and I think R2 is next. Go ahead, R2.
Hey, Malta, I'll holler at you, man. Thank you.
R2, go ahead.
Always.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, just wanted to congratulate Soldier for, going against the grain and voicing his concern about a lot of different things, even though I don't agree with him on a lot of things. I think, he has a following, and he's going against the hopium, and I think a lot of his concerns are valid. I think, for the past months, we've all been kind of spoon fed, a lot of things that didn't have to be. We're starting to see the effects of that right now. And I just want to congratulate him for coming into the space and talking about those things. I will say, Soldier, I do see a shift in how the team is delivering things lately. I don't know if you've noticed that, or if you still think it's all. I know they still do the crossword puzzles and things like that, but I have seen them revise, some of their roadmap expectations. I believe they they brought down we were expecting 2 exchanges. I believe they now are only highlighting that we will be getting 1. So that kind of honesty, honestly, I prefer that. Just be honest with us. I mean, speaking future tense here, are you planning on completely getting out of Safemoon, whether it's community or I don't want to talk about your bag, but do you see a shift?
No, I don't ever see myself selling all of it. I've got multiple bags, a little less than I used to after that, decision I made recently. But no, I mean, obviously at some point in life, I haven't created a specific price point, and I have to readjust it now that I have a little less. I'll work on getting back what I had. But, if I start seeing a few things change that I really want to see change, the Mandala listing with global tokenomics being operable is a big decision for me. I believe if there's trouble there, then we've got trouble for a few more months until either Safemoon can figure that out or just completely get away from passive income and tokenomics, and then that kills a lot about the project. So I think that's a very, very big moment for this project. The global tokenomics have to be successful, otherwise we're in for a much longer road, and possibly changes to be made. But
valid point.
no,
Valid point.
no,
Can we quickly go to Drew, to you? Yeah. Unless I interrupted some shit. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna kind of close that out. I was like a 2-part question. I forgot the other part of it. But no, as far as a complete exit plan, no. I've got bags that are my son's that aren't going to be touched for at least 3 years because he's only 15, if not until he's out of college. I've got a certain amount that I'm willing to sell when it's worth a certain price point that can, pay off my debt, things like that, that can make that instant life change without selling a lot of it. And without, just retiring and quit my job, but at some point make a decision, okay, I need this much to go ahead and set these things right in life. And then I can just chill, for a couple more years until I really start thinking about, hey, I can quit my job now. But no, I'll never just dump my whole bag. As long as everything goes right, obviously.
All right, let's go to Drew. Drew, to you.
Then I think Moon Matt was next.
Yeah, but go ahead, Drew.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Listen, I'll make this real brief. Um, you know, I appreciate your perspective, Brett, but for myself, I don't think you and the 50 other people on your mail route should be the voice of what the community wants. Um, uh, there's a lot of people within this community and spaces. We've got 650,000 holders. And again, you and the select few people that you speak with on a every so often basis, you don't speak for me. You don't speak for 650,000 of us. I think the problem within this community is that, we all get a little bit, not we all, some all get a little bit too big for their britches. They think that they're the voice of everybody, and you're not. We're 650,000 people strong. So, you know, there's 200 people in this space, right? We're a pimple on Safemoon's ass in this space, and each individual person is a hair on the pimple on Safemoon's ass. So,
but are we
take
here
that
in the
into
spaces? Are
what's that?
we are we the Safemoon Army here in these Twitter spaces every day that they actually dedicate time to and listen to and comment on the things
No,
we
yeah, we
say?
call ourselves the Safemoon Army, but we're
But that's the thing. But are
650,000
we, or
strong,
do
dude.
we have a
So,
voice that
yeah,
can help
sure,
them
we
make
all.
better decisions
For who? For, who wants to? I
for
don't
the
want them to make it.
company?
Yeah, but Brett, I'm not interested in them stopping the puzzles. If that's your biggest issue is puzzles, dude. I mean, let them do puzzles. I don't partake in the puzzles. I don't give a shit about the puzzles. But the people that want to do the puzzles, do the
You
puzzles. You know what
so
I mean?
you're
Like,
sitting here saying is that if your biggest issues is the puzzles, then you haven't heard a lick of the last hour of conversation.
no, I've
If
heard
you
the last
think
lick
my
of the
biggest
last.
worry is the puzzles, you haven't been listening.
I have been listening,
And
Brett.
you're up
All
here
I'm,
personal
all I'm,
and
no, I'm not getting
well,
personal.
you
Listen,
you
there's
know,
six.
You
All
called
I'm
out his
saying
mail route.
is,
There's
all I'm,
there's not
all I'm.
600. There's not
Drew, you are
600.
getting emotional. You are getting a
You're,
little bit
I understand
emotional.
what you're saying, Drew, and I deserve for
I
you
just, I
to
think
tell
that
me how you
people,
feel because I
I
speak
think,
how I feel.
right. I'm going to tell you
But
how I
you're
feel.
just
I
taking
think
it a
there's,
little too personal, man. I
I'm
don't
not
speak
taking
for
it
you,
Hold on,
personal.
and I don't
soldier.
think and I
Hold
don't
on.
think
This
I
way.
speak for
This
you.
way. One at a time, guys.
Brett, I'm sorry that you're taking this personal. Okay, we've been here in this spaces as long as both of us have been, right? We've spoken many a times in the past, and all I'm saying is that I think some of these community leaders, okay, quote unquote leaders, whatever you want to call them, they get a little too big for their britches and they think that they speak for everybody, and you don't. You know what I mean? You don't. You don't. And I'm not saying just you, any of them. You know what I mean? Like, you don't speak for me. Okay. I don't agree with how you're trying to make change. You want this, you want change. You want change. Well, great. I'm glad you want change. I don't want change. So you know what I mean? Like, so
What does that even mean? That makes no
Hold
sense.
on, hold on, hold
Down
on.
90%. Why would I want it to change?
I just disagree with him just a little bit. We're not 600 and well, we have 600 holders, but I have 3 wallets.
Well, just
So
real quick, Royzo, just to be clear, Drew to you is saying he does not want anything to change. So that's his perspective. I don't think anybody agrees with that, but
that's what nobody says. No, I didn't say I don't want
You're not.
change.
Yeah, you're
I'm,
missing the
I'm being
nuance there, Moon
specific.
Matt.
I'm being
oh, go ahead,
specific.
clarify.
I'm being specific as to what Brett is asking for change with the games that are being played constantly, right? That's not I don't want change with that. I'm good with that. So you don't speak for me.
no,
And the
I
50
I
people
agree
that you
with
talk on
Brett
your
what he's
mail route,
saying.
you don't speak, they don't speak for me.
So
And
then
okay, so
No,
then
so we
but
agree to
it's not just the
disagree.
people on the mail route he's talking about. He's saying on the outside looking in. If you go to any community and you speak about SafeMoon, people laugh at us.
That
You know
too.
that,
Any
right?
community here in
You go
crypto,
to any
they don't
you
community.
laugh
can't
at
go to
us. They
one
don't.
Yes,
space
they
and get
do.
any
Yes,
get
No,
a
no, no,
lick
you
of
no. They
you
don't
respect.
laugh at us because of the puzzles. You know
no,
what
no,
I
no.
mean?
They laughed of us because exactly. So it's not just
They
the
laugh
puzzles.
because
Because
That's
the
down
hopium. They laugh at us
95%.
because of
it's
the
everything.
hopium
Hold on,
and
guys.
broken dreams.
Hold on, everyone. Let's all speak one at a time. Okay, Drew, go ahead. Finish your thought. Go ahead, Drew.
No, that's all I got to say. Like I said, it is what it is. You know, we're not all that. Everybody within this particular space right here, the space of 200, we really don't amount to much when it comes to the overall consensus of this. You know, you're saying, okay, there's not 650,000 people because you hold 3 wallets. Great. So again, 300,000 people. You know what I mean? Okay, we'll cut it in half.
So Drew,
Probably less.
just to relate to like 2 ways you said that. As far as like, yes, we don't speak for everybody, but then also back on the point of we're just a pimple on Safemoon's ass. But what I'm trying to get across to you is we might just be a small percentage of the people, but we are the people they listen to. We are the people they literally answer to.
Yeah, I totally disagree with you, Drew, where you're saying that the spaces and the people in them are a pimple on Saquon's ass. They make major impact. Things
A huge impact.
Posts I've made at Ryan, he's had to respond to, and it's been a whole thing.
How many changes have they made and features have they implemented because of things we've recommended and spoke about?
Hey, can you let Matt keep going?
No, Brett's right. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like we've gone in circles a little bit here.
Everything can't be positive. You just got to give them a little bit of a pushback. You know, that's all it is. So like, that's like the February AMA, how everybody thought it was not good. If everybody sat there and said that was the best AMA of the year, they would have never probably did a captain's log. They probably would have never did what they did, was tweeting out and stuff like that. So I agree with what Soldier's saying. Like, you just gotta.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Nah, you're good. You're good. You're good.
And whether you think like things like, you know, the Ginger versus Thomas debate helped Safemoon, probably didn't, I'll admit it. But, you know, those things, these events, they're all orchestrated by the communities, by the people. So things are happening. People can make a difference, especially when you're holding the project and you get people together to talk about it and agree on something. I don't think it's fair to say that we're a pimple on Safemoon's ass. I know I'm not personally, but I think other people should not look at themselves that way either, because it's a community. People can reach out to each other. People can communicate, and things get done that way.
Well, and also at the end of the day, everyone here is an individual person, and every person who has, you know, money there, that's your money. So I don't see a problem with anyone bringing up hopiism or, you know, criticism of the project. That's just an individual person, you know, and whatever Brett or Soldier is doing, you know, I don't think he's speaking for me. He's speaking for himself. And if I have a concern, I will bring it up. If you have a, you know, not a concern, but if you're happy with something Safemoon does, everyone can bring it up and say, yeah, it's going to go to $1. It's going to go to $50. You know, they're going to buy Apple. That's fine. I'll come up here and probably say my opinion and say that's not true. And same thing, you know, Drew, with you. You know, you want the puzzles. Brett does not, and that's fine. This is what all these spaces are about. Is everybody is entitled to their own opinion, even though they tell you you're entitled to your own opinion or facts, whatever, but it has to be true and all that. But you know, it is what it is, and I don't think one person or even 10 people can bring down a project. I don't think, you know, Brett's, you know, if he's being negative about Safemoon, it will never change the directory of what Safemoon goes. It might get people talking about it, but that's all it is. You know, everyone is just here getting upset, getting happy, and then that's all it is. You know, just be happy, and that's how it is. You get sad all the time, you get upset, you're gonna get yourself sick for over nothing.
I hear that, but also Prosperous can go right after this. But just circling back, I do believe that a project can be brought to its extreme riches and to its graveyard just by 1 to 10 people. 100%. Influence is way underrated, and people can make a way bigger difference than they seem to think they can. Go ahead, Prosperous.
Shoot.
Prosperous' hand's been up for like fucking 4 hours.
Yeah, it's an error. I don't know. It was not letting me take my hand down. I was trying to, but anyway. So, oh shoot, Brett, you can say whatever whatever you want. Of course, nobody's telling you how to tweet. I think maybe some of what the issue is that the intentions, regardless of what you say, they're gonna be suspect because of the position you put yourself in after you sold some or a significant portion. That's part of it, and you got to accept that's going to be people's take. There's probably not much you're going to be able to say to make us believe you when you say your intentions aren't anything other than a desperate attempt to lower the price to regain a better position, because that was your goal that you stated.
Yeah,
And
and that's why I don't argue with people when they say that, because I can see, I see where they're coming from.
right, and
But
also,
again, to
crypto,
go
all
back
of
to what I
crypto
said
is
earlier.
wildly speculative. And a
Well,
new
just
project
real
that's a
quick.
year old is also is going to be even higher on that spectrum, wildly speculative.
Right,
So
but
as
just
far
real
as like
quick,
talking to
process.
people, I know that you're
Like I said
very
earlier,
passionate
if
about it.
my
Hang on.
voice,
I listen to you talk, man. Please
I
let
know.
me
I'm just saying,
finish.
if anyone truly, like I said, I do understand the aspect of people coming at me like that. But if you truly believe that my voice or my presence here on Twitter can control this price up or down,
You're not
then
listening to what I'm
the
saying,
project
though.
has a lot more problems than me.
Okay,
You're not listening. I'm with you. Yes, you are not. Anything you tweet is not going to affect the price. I'm not saying that. I am saying that your intentions are suspect. That's what I'm getting at. Also,
I can't argue that.
Safemoon, highly speculative. Crypto, highly speculative. If you're talking to people about investing on your route, regardless of how big it is, man, talk to them about any company that's a year or two old, and them not be able to poke holes through every aspect of that speculative company. There's not going to be one, man, especially in crypto. So to say that we need this or that from the team so that I can have a better influence over people that I talk to, it's just not going to happen with a company that's this young
Yeah.
in any industry.
No, believe me, the people I do, and it's not like I just talk to anyone about it. It's other businessmen and people that are in crypto. It's not just like random, receptionists at a desk, and I'm like, hey, you should buy Safemoon, you know. So, but I get where you're coming from, man. I kind of lost the rest I was going to say. Go ahead, man.
Fantastic. You got your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I've lashed out at Soldier a little bit lately for some of his tweets, and I haven't done it because I dislike him, because I don't like it. I don't dislike him at all. I was a little disappointed because he's one of the OGs going back long time in these spaces and talking. So Soldier, if you feel like I disrespected you at all anyway, I didn't mean to do it that way. I was just disappointed. I just wanted to clear that up.
No, that's why you guys never hear me say anything personal back or say some bullshit back to somebody personally, except with Ace because he wanted to smoke just recently. But that's why I don't say nothing back to y'all, man. That's why I don't get rude and start talking about you must be on drugs, you must be on heat, you must be high, you must be drunk, you need to go get mental health, your teeth are rotted, you forgot to brush your teeth, stupid shit like that. It's like, what the fuck? That's why I don't even respond to that shit or say anything back personally to anyone. It's because I don't take it personal. I know they're just fucking on the moon and fucking children of the moon that are just fucking moonstruck and taking shit personal instead of wanting to get down to business. But you didn't offend me, man, not at all.
That kind of tweets are disrespectful. You never tell someone that there is the one that is the FUD that I believe in when you attack people personally. You can attack a project
Right.
but not a person. That's stupid.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't even go. It's social media. People can do and say as they fucking please, and that's what I fight for because that's what I do, and I get ridiculed for it. But that's why I don't lash back at anybody. I just laugh at it or say, "Hey, thanks for the kind words," like all of you see in the comments. It's very rare I'll say something back to somebody, and if I do, it's somebody from the past that I've gone at with it before, and that's very rare because I just don't give a shit anymore. But yeah, man, you didn't offend me, man. I don't take anything personal. I just trying to get a point across here.
Yeah, I did throw one tweet out. I was trying to get a reaction back at you, but you didn't fire one back off at me, so I couldn't say I was just.
I probably laughed like hell and said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna say nothing." But I was probably laughing my ass off. I can tell you that. But yeah, I just don't bother with it. I look at it and I laugh because, me and my brother and my friends, we all grew up talking a lot of shit with each other. Just straight talking shit, fucking with each other, cracking on each other. you know, and sometimes shit would get personal, but we'd be laughing like hell. Like I don't have this thin skin. I don't have a tiny little heart where I take everything everybody says personal and, oh, what'd you say to me? And you're a piece of shit. Man, listen, I enjoy my life.
And you really can't lower yourself to all those losers. I mean,
No.
it's really what they are. They're bored individuals who have enough time to do that. So, yeah, exactly. Raising yourself above that is the best way to go. There's so many losers on social media. Like, oh my gosh. Actually just like sit at their keyboards and type things about other people instead of just working on themselves.
Facts.
Let's go. Safemoon to the moon. 24/7, 365 is out here. 150
go.
people in the space right now. All right. I think it's clear. 24/7 has arrived. They are here. All right. Much respect. Safemoon to the moon.
Let's
go,
man. To the fucking moon, baby.
You talking about Moon Boys? Moon Matt is a Moon Boy.
Yep, here we go. We're moon boying. But yeah, I appreciate, you know, everybody conversating today and shit. And you know, it finally gave me a chance to explain more where I'm coming from, even though I thought it was pretty clear over the last couple months. But
oh, bro, thanks for coming in and spending time too. Feel free to stick around.
Yeah, I felt that we were in an intervention to get Brett to come back to the light or something. But
no, man, I did lose some of the light, you know, but it was just out of frustration. Like I've said many times, I still believe in what it can be. I just want to see it get there, you know. And yeah, I don't want to keep going in circles about it. I just want to see it be done a little more professionally. You know, announce things, you know. I don't know. I don't want to go in circles about it again. I get they have to do what's fun and keep the community engaged, but I just think it'd be so much better if they gave us something to work with instead of just throw a bunch of hopium on top of it and speak about fucking nonsense
Brett,
in spaces.
I know you don't see it this way, but regardless of your thoughts on the puzzles and stuff, you're engaged on them because we're talking about them in one way or another.
No, I wasn't just speaking about them. I was just saying, like, I think there's, even if they can't give away actual like partnerships and things coming up under NDA, maybe like talk to us more about specific like technicalities, maybe like different systems they're using to do this and that, like where they're at through a process, and we can break those things down and we can teach ourselves and educate ourselves about how they're developing this blockchain and talk about things like that. That way we can explain what the project is better instead of just throwing out all this hopium and, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, but we've got all this bad fucking media and bullshit behind us. It takes a long time to come out of that, and we just got to start proving that we can, you know, succeed at something. Yes, we have the wallet out there, but everything we do comes out with and I know it's technology, but we'll give this hard date and we'll announce this and that. You know, we launched the wallet with fucking, you know, our first product. We launched the wallet with fucking fake fucking links. And, you know, and everyone's like, oh, it doesn't work. And at first they're screaming, oh, API calls, Safemoon Army crashed it. Then the fucking truth came out that they fucking sent it out with fake links. It's shit like that. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? What is this? What are we doing here? And that's what the outside sees. And that's just one example, you know, since then, you know, failed attempts at things and this and that. And, you know, fucking, and they sit here and say they're doing all this testing to make, like, the whole time leading up to, you know, both the wallet and Mandala. We're doing all the testing. Everything's going to be great and everything's going to be fucking ready to go when we launch it. That's what's taking so long. We're testing it. And it comes out and it's shit. And the same thing with Mandala Exchange. The tokenomics work, this and that. We're listing, we're launching on this date. Sorry, doesn't work. Well, what happened
Brett,
all the fucking time you took testing it?
Brett, can we go to Sam Kitty and then back to Sam Tastic?
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, just some feedback. to anyone and everyone who has never had to build something from scratch, and you have customers waiting on you to finish your build because they're waiting on your product. I
No,
deal
and
with that
see,
all the
and I'm
time.
not talking about the length it takes. I'm talking about the way they promote it and the way they put it out there that it's the best ever, and we've done all the testing, and it's fucking the best on
Wait,
the market.
well, wait
And
a
it
minute.
comes out and it doesn't work. Just
But
be fucking realistic
Brett,
about
what
it
do
and
you? But
educational
Brett,
about it
but
instead
Brett,
of fucking hyping and failing.
well, Brett, what do you know about quality assurance or product development?
Nothing. I'm not a software guy. I'm
So,
a
so
fucking
how do you
medical.
know it's the best or not? And you're calling something shit, but you're not an expert.
What are you even negating right now?
What I'm trying to
I
tell
don't.
you, Brett, is you're judging, you're making statements.
I'm not
and-
judging. I'm here for the ride. The shit. Everything
no,
I
no.
just mentioned was
Hold,
not
hold on.
exaggerated. It's the
If
way
you're
things
critiquing,
happen and keep
if
happening.
you're critiquing the product or the product, and I'm not saying you specifically, and you don't have the technical depth and breadth. I don't think most people in this space understand what technical depth and breadth means. Depth means how deep, and breadth means how wide. Most people have no clue what's associated
But
with building
again,
a product.
you're not even listening. You're speaking
I'm
on what my
listening,
knowledge of the product is and if it's good or not. That's not
and
what I'm saying. I'm saying
what?
it comes
Go
out and
ahead.
it's just doesn't work.
But
And they say
hold on.
they've done all the. What I'm saying is they say they've done all the testing. They say it's the best, and we're innovating. We're only going to put out the best. And I
But
also
Brett,
MVPs minimum.
Brett, you just
There's
admitted you
nothing
don't
to
know anything.
negate.
Hold on, Brett. You just said you're not a subject matter expert in a delivery of any product. Yet you're a great judge when you said it doesn't work or it's shit. How does that work?
Yeah, when they put out links that don't even download a wallet and they do it intentionally and knew it
What
ahead of time.
What
Sam,
links?
he is right about that. That
Man, I'm
was
talking
shady
about
as
the
hell.
wallet launch. Again, you're
so
not
so
even listening.
so you want to go back
I'm
to the
giving
wallet?
examples of things that keep happening, and one of them was the
Right, so
wallet
I can
launch.
speak. Listen, I
And
can.
hold on, Sam. Listen, not only that it was a failed launch, but the links that were put out to download it were intentionally false links. They knew about it ahead of time, never announced it. That's the type of just shady,
So
weird shit that
And that
makes
is
you
true,
say,
Sam.
"What the
Soldier is
fuck? Why
correct.
did they do that?"
Hold on.
That's
So
what I'm relating to is from how
so
people
listen.
look at it, not if I
Hold on,
know
hold
the
on.
software is good or not.
So you're saying, Soldier, in the affirmative, you're saying they intentionally posted
Yes, they admitted
resources,
it.
and
They
they admitted.
admitted it, Sam.
Where
Did
did
you
they
miss
admit it?
that whole
Where did they
thing?
admit that? Where did they admit that?
Oh
Where
my God,
or
Sam,
Ryan
please.
Sam,
say?
where were you during this? It
What the
absolutely
fuck are
happened
you,
like Soldier
Sam?
said.
You've been around too
Brett,
long.
No,
What
no,
are
no,
you
no, no.
talking about?
Don't start doing what Freak does. This the Egyptian guy.
Who is Freak?
But it's like when you say, but but it's fake. Oh, but
Hey,
you know it's not real.
Can I get some clarity? Because I don't know what links you guys are talking about.
He's talking about. I'll tell you. He's talking
When they
about when the
launched the
wallet was
wallet
launched,
and
the
they
link
announced it. They
Just
announced that you could
one at a
download
time.
it at
One
a
at a time,
specific.
guys.
Hey, Brett, are you hearing Sam? Because you guys are kind of talking over each other. All right, I'm muted.
He's not letting me finish. He's not letting me finish my statement. So I just asked Brett a question, and he just answered back by saying, "But you know," and that's not the answer to the question. I said, "You explain to me who on the core team said yes. We put false links when downloading the wallet. Who on the core team admitted saying that? Can someone on the call tell me who said that? Because I'm hearing crickets here. I don't see any answers coming from that statement you made, Brett.
Sam, it was talked about for a month straight, man.
Stop right there. Don't tell me it was talked about. Who from the court team said yes? We put false links there. Who's
Jacob did.
Jacob who?
The guy who was the website guy.
Do you not know who Jacob is, Sam?
Sane
Jacob
already
Smith.
did it. What do you think happened?
Jacob Smith?
Oh,
Are we talking about Jacob?
do the links work for you and nobody else?
Yeah,
No,
like,
they
hey,
didn't.
but
All they
what
did was
links?
take you back to the
What links,
homepage.
guys? Like, what
The
links?
links to download the wallet took you back to the homepage, and then
Whether you want to
Because
believe
I
it or
got
not, Sam, Soldier
and
is right on this aspect.
Okay, hold on. I think I know what Soldier's talking about. When the wallet was supposed to first come out for iOS and for Android, yes, when you did click on the link for iOS, it didn't work because they didn't have the iOS ready for iPhones, but I think Android later
Okay,
worked. All right,
that
I'm
makes
muted.
sense. That makes sense because I'm an
I'm mute.
Android guy. Thank you for
Mine worked.
clarifying.
Yeah, exactly. Mine
No, it
worked.
didn't work for either. Both links took you back
Mine
to the
worked. I got it, and there was a delay.
not the initial day.
It did not work when it first came out,
The
Sam.
initial
You're
All right,
day.
delusional.
so here's my question. So from that one event alone, Brett, we're gonna label the whole team as a bunch of liars. That's what you're saying?
No, that
They
was
got
one
fired.
example,
They're
Sam.
not on the
And
team anymore.
we've already had this space. I've gone over everything over the last. I don't know if you just got in here or what, but we've been on
No,
Sam,
here
you
for
like
I,
to put
2
a lot of
hours.
words in people's mouths.
Yeah,
who just said
Sam.
that?
Sam,
Who
everything
just
you're
said that?
asking, we covered over the last
Brett,
2
who
hours.
just said that? Who just said I allowed to put a lot of words
I
in someone's
did.
mouth?
I
Who's
did.
that? Who's that?
And
I
now,
don't see you
now this
speaking.
space has gone
Who
to
just said that? I
Billy
can't see you
Club.
Sam, okay,
speaking.
everybody
Sam, you
calm
just wrote a
down.
statement
Calm
again.
down. Let's all just
Who
talk.
just said that I put other people's
Sam
piercer's
came
mouth?
in like a fucking wrecking ball again, destroyed
Hold
everything.
on. Who, Brett? I know it wasn't you. Who just said? Can I hear who said that? I'm waiting. Who said that?
Yeah, it was Billy Club. Yeah.
Billy Club?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Who the fuck are you, Billy Club? I've never seen you in the space.
Who the fuck are you, Sam? You're somebody who
Huh?
puts words in people's mouths.
How am I
Oh,
putting words in his mouth? I'm questioning him a
we were
question.
having such a good space. What happened? Come
Because
on,
every
don't do
time
it.
Soldier says something, you turn around and say that he said something else because you're
And
putting words
listen,
in people's mouths.
Billy, let me. Maybe you don't know me, but you know my forte. I'm really good at this, Billy. I don't have to. I'm gonna
Oh,
one
in your
second.
eyes, you are.
Something he's
Okay,
really good
I
at,
think
Billy.
we need to calm down, and get
Hold on,
back to the subject.
Billy. Let me tell you what I'm really good at doing is breaking down fucking FUD. When people start talking out of their asses, and I have to check them on every little thing to make sure it's not FUD, and I'll be the first to admit making a mistake. But I can see the way and the direction that a lot of people, and I'm not saying Brett's one of those people, who like to build a track record and say there's a pattern and there's a conspiracy and these guys are liars and they're frauds. Here's what I would say to them. Honestly, Safemoon's not a good fit for them. They need high quality lying. They want to really feel what they know about. So what I would tell you, Billy, is maybe you're like Brett. Are you like Brett? Would you consider yourself like Brett, Billy?
You can say whatever you want, Sam.
No,
You
I
like to
want you
put
to
words
tell
in
me.
people's
I'm
mouths.
asking
I've
you.
listened to you
No,
for
I'm
2 months
asking you to
now,
tell
and
me,
that's all you
Billy.
seem to do, buddy.
I'm asking you to tell me, Billy, because I destroy FUD every day. That's what I do for a living.
No, I'm
And
Oh,
like
what
come
yourself.
that's a
I'm
lot
on.
of
not like
FUD.
anybody else.
That's a lot of FUD, Billy.
Come on.
All right, that's a lot of fun. I don't mind you supporting Brett, but Brett's trying to turn one incident to one incident to one incident to one incident to say that there's a
Okay,
next.
When there's
hey,
dozens
Sam.
of
All of
Let's maybe
that,
take.
instances,
Can we take a break
Sam,
and let Samtastic?
it's not
She's had,
one.
or they've had
all
they've
of
had
that is
their hand up for a
all of
while.
that is
Maybe
FUD.
let them speak.
When
Okay,
does FUD
Sam
become
and
fact? When
Brett.
it hits 24th, 25th incident, 26th incident? I mean, when
Billy,
does FUD become
save
fact,
that
Sam?
bullshit for someone else. You're not even a safe one holder. Go get lost.
Hey, no, hold on.
I'm not a
No,
safe
no.
moon holder.
We're all welcome here. Can we go to Sam Tastic quickly, guys?
Yes, Samtastic, you had your hand up. Go ahead. And then after that, it's NDA.
Hey guys, so here's what I see as the biggest problem for Safemoon right now. I feel like they bit off more than they can chew. That they're trying to do too many projects at once. I'd like them to focus on one or two main projects. Let's get them out and move on to the next. It's hard when you're trying to do multiple things at the same time. I think where I agree with Brett on some of the things that he says, and I disagree with on others. But at the end of the day, we're all adults. We can agree to disagree, and move on from there. So, but that's in my eyes what I think the biggest problem is. They're just trying to do too much at one time.
I totally agree because any company who tries to do many different products at the same time, one product or two will fail out of the five that they come out with. It's just common sense, you companies all the time they come out and do testing, and you know that, Sam, too. Like you cannot bring five products out and try to get all five of them out at the same time.
That does
Two
apply
or
to
three
line
will.
extensions. However, SafeMoon is building a lot of these
Listen,
things
guys.
as an ecosystem.
Go ahead, Prospus. You're breaking up, but go ahead, Prospus.
I was going to say that technically applies to a lot of line extensions, sure, but SafeMoon is building a lot of these things congruently because they all work together.
Imagine me investing in a startup, and I know nothing. And this startup is about making electric cars, and I know nothing about electric cars. I know nothing about assembly lines. I know nothing about batteries. And everyone's excited, and we're raising money, and we have this advanced placement, and this projects are coming along, and there are delays in the assembly line. There are delays in the product. There's delays in getting cars off the line. And you know what's fucking funny is Elon Musk had that same fucking problem. And they were fucking haters. They were fucking haters. They didn't know what to say. And the guy's a fucking moron. The guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And last I looked at their stock, I don't think anyone's saying that anymore because it took time. And what I tell people that this project is not a year old. The true technical team got on board 6 months ago. When John got the team he needed, it started in September. That's when the clock started ticking. And now, 6 months later, we're months away from an exchange and a blockchain coming. God, I'm just telling you, if you're not happy with your investment, go find something else. Stop crying a river. The team owes you no duty except to enjoy the ride. We're crypto. You're not holders of the stock. This is not a corporation. It's a private placement. It's an LLC. It's amazing.
All right,
Isn't
NDA,
an
go ahead.
LLC a limited liability corporation?
Yes,
You just
it's a
said
limited.
I think NDA was next.
You just said it's not a corporation; it's a corporation.
It's a privately held corporation.
Oh
You're
God!
not part of a privately held corporation.
Oh
Do I have to school you on corporation? I can school you, Brett. I can do this all day.
Oh man.
All right,
He's
let's
ready
let's
to
go.
go.
Let's go to
NDA,
NDA.
you're next.
Go ahead,
Somebody get
NDA.
Sky here.
No.
Oh, she's another lost case.
I was just going to say I felt the Fonzie video coming along. So I wanted to say, hi, Fonzie. I'm scared of you. Just be nice and gentle to me. I'm not a bad guy. Well, I am a bad guy. Just don't fud me hard.
You're a nice bad guy. You're a nice bad guy. You're on that
Okay,
category.
Malta Poppy, you were next.
Oh no, go to the next person. I forgot what I was saying. I'll be back.
Okay.
And that's why I tried to break up some of the tension with the hi, Fonzie.
Okay, I just want to say something. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Brett definitely has his. Other people have theirs. Sam, I don't want us to tell people to get lost because they have a difference of opinion. I want us to have decent discourse on it and maybe get to the root of issues rather than
I agree.
we don't want to set up straw mans and say that people are saying things they are not.
You're absolutely right. But what I will say is if you're going to come out and make a statement and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, I'm going to call you out on it. I'm just going to say it up front. You're going to come in and
well, here's kind of the problem with a lot of this argument on both sides with everybody is that there's a ton of unknowns for all of us. There's a ton of unknowns, and so we can't really say that one person saying something is completely inaccurate when none of us know the complete picture.
So true. So true, Prospus.
Soldier, thanks for coming in today, man. I really appreciate it. It's been good to I'm glad you got to talk to everyone about, where you're at and all.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you. This is what we do, man. It's Twitter Spaces. It's where we all talk about everything every day. So, it's good to get it out, especially with the people that need to hear it. And I'm not going to change the way I feel. I'll try to maybe tone it down a bit now that there's really, I've got my point across. There's no need to keep tweeting it out. And we'll see how things go with the cross chains and Mandala. And I think that's, like I keep saying, man, I think that's a really big step for us, man. It's a very important part of what Safemoon's trying to do. And Mandala's got to be the first example of it. Again, if it's not perfect this time and something has to happen again, I don't think it's, the end all be all, but I think it takes a hit on us. because then they have to rethink, can we make this happen? Is it going to be too much of a problem for the rest of everybody else? How long is it going to take us to, make the global tokenomics work if they don't? Then does just getting rid of the tax and tokenomics come into factor? And then how does that affect the burn? Things like that. So that's why I think, coming up, it's going to be a really big stepping stone, hopefully milestone for us. So, hopefully the cross chain things, don't have complications. If they do day one, so be it. But, or maybe even week one. But then after that, it's like, come on, we got to get something right. But then, I think the mandala thing's the most important coming up. So we'll see how successful, both of the cross chain feature is and the mandala listing. It's two big moments that really need to function properly. So we'll see.